Hi guys, it's Rike and welcome to another video. If you're new here, my name is Rike and I review a lot of activewear. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you just keep watching. Today I have another little Gymshark haul for you. Gymshark is always easy to order from because they offer free returns and they ship fast and there's no import fees and everything. So I occasionally like to do a little Gymshark haul for those reasons, but also because they sometimes have interesting things. To be fair, I'm not the biggest fan of Gymshark, but occasionally there'll be a piece or two that I can get behind. So yeah, and recently they had another launch of the Whitney Leggings. So Whitney Simmons used to do collections with Gymshark. They used to be like the Gymshark X Whitney Simmons collections. And I think there was like 5 of them or something like that over like 4 years. I will see if I can find that playlist and I can link that up here. And in general, if you're interested in any of my Gymshark hauls, I can also just link the Gymshark, the normal Gymshark playlist up here, which will also include the Whitney Simmons stuff. But anyway, so there was those collections, and then there was like, you know, tops, sports bras, t-shirts, leggings, shorts, everything. And I think they had like a contract together for like, 5 collections. And after that, it was done. And honestly, like the Whitney Simmons things were like some of my favorite Gymshark items ever. And I think a good few people felt the same way. So now actually Whitney Simmons is working with Gymshark, and they continuously release the Whitney leggings. So the leggings that she basically designed for them and brought out in those collections. And we do have new colors coming because it's summer. And obviously I felt like, you know what, this is a perfect reason to order. I ordered this a few weeks ago, so I honestly don't remember what's in this bag. But there is some Whitney leggings in here, and I think I got a good few colors as well, just to kind of, you know, get an idea. And some of the colors were really pretty, so I couldn't decide. But yeah, let's just rip this open and then we can see what's actually inside. All right, so I do see a good amount of colors. I hope you can see them through the bags as well. And we do have leggings, a Halterneck sports bra, another sports bra, shorts, another sports bra, more shorts and more leggings. Oops, the leggings fell already. So we do have 4 bottoms and 3 tops. I did get a good selection, didn't I? Wow, okay. See, like I said, I didn't remember anymore what I was doing here, but we will go through everything. I will just double check the sports bras that I got. They're all different ones, yes, but they're all fun colors and not all necessarily from I think one of them is not from the Whitney collection, basically. I mean, it's not really the Whitney collection, it's just like the colors she picked. And then the leggings and the shorts are actually called Gymshark X Whitney Simmons leggings or shorts. But the sports bras are just basically the sports bras she picked and the colors for her collection, except for one of them. But we will go through everything. I'm usually a size small up top and then size small to medium in the bottoms. I did go with, all size small for the tops and all size medium for the bottoms today. So nothing too complicated here. And I'd say we have a lot of pieces to go through, so let's just get into it. I talk a lot, so we need to, I need to like stay on the ball. And let's start off with the only sports bra that is not in the colors of the Whitney, like the current summer collection, that I just picked up because I liked the color and I felt like it could match. And I liked the sports bra itself. So we'll start off with that, and after that, everything is going to be part of this new launch with the Whitney Simmons leggings and shorts. But for sports bras, this one here, it is the Ruched I can't talk. Not good when you're trying to film a video. Anyway, this is the Ruched Strappy sports bra in the color purple, described as light support. I feel like most Gymshark sports bras are light support. But here it is. Oh, it feels nice and soft. Oh, hello. But yeah, color purple, obviously very, very purple for sure, with a blue hue to it. This one is made from 78% recycled polyester and 22% elastane, but it feels really soft. I am surprised. Usually with Gymshark, sometimes the fabric feels like quite below expectations, to say it nicely. But like this one is really soft, nice. It is the Ruched sports bra, so we do have the ruching here in the front. The ruching is kind of like fixed there, so it's not elastic or anything. Like there's no elastic there, it's really just like a tighter seam. We have a little V neckline here, thinner straps. They're not adjustable, but they have a little bit of stretch. And then in the back, you have this interesting thing here with the straps. So you have these thinner straps looping through these thicker straps, and then, yeah, just basically 4 here, although it's actually only 2, they're just looping. And these ones are a little bit more elastic. So these are definitely just elastic straps, whereas this is fabric with a little bit of stretch in it and an elastic seam. These 4 are actually elastic. And then we do have a little mesh part here in the back. So this is all mesh for a little bit more breathability. And the mesh itself is made from 91% nylon and 9% elastane. Not bad. Like, it's definitely still softer mesh as well. And then we do have an elastic band under the chest here. You do not have removable cup pads in here. However, there is a pocket for them. And I always hate when they do that. If you put a pocket in there for the removable cup pads, just give me the cup pads. Like, it's the easiest thing in the world. Just put the cup pads in there and I can still decide if I want to take them out or not. Because now I'm like, do I need to find some now that fit in here? Like, and I'm not going to do that, you know? So just provide them if you have the pocket in there. That's all I'm asking. But anyway, so it's going to be like, I think it's a triple layer basically here. We do have an inner mesh layer in the cup pad pocket, and then you have the soft inner layer, and then you have that soft outer layer. So it is triple layered, but yeah, if you put a cup pocket there for the cup pads, just give me the cup pads. I don't think they're the most pricey thing of the whole sports bra, so just do it. Yeah. Otherwise, very, very simple. But yeah, I did like the strappy back here. It is definitely like a lower coverage situation. It is also described as light support. And I do have a smaller chest, so for me, like the low coverage is not necessarily a big problem, but it might be a problem if you have a bigger chest. They do have other sports bras, of course, but I feel like a lot of them are kind of like this type of coverage. So yeah, for me personally, not a problem, but I can see how that could be a problem for some other people, for sure. Anyway, I am very, very positively surprised by the fabric because it is nice and soft. I also do like that Gymshark really has gone down in their logo. Like plastering, we only have this one here and nothing else, so that is great. And yeah, let's just see it on. All right, first sports bra here. I'm actually surprised at how compressive it is. For me having a small chest, I am feeling tucked in for sure. I only wish the straps were a little bit shorter. Like I feel like I'm losing a little bit of like a lift because of the straps being a little bit too long, but they're also unfortunately not adjustable. So there's that. But yeah, no gaping. I don't think I'm gonna fall out. Yes, it might come a little bit lower still, but it's not gonna be so bad. And then you have this wider ruched part. Side boob coverage is okay, but you obviously have very, very little coverage here. Thin straps, or one thin strap, I guess. And then in the back, it actually looks really cute. I like it with the elastic straps here. As you can see, it's 1, 2 straps that are just looping around this other strap here. And yeah, I feel like, yeah, the straps, or the one strap needs to be a little bit shorter. We do have this mesh part here as well for a little bit more breathability, but overall it's a pretty open back design here as well. Yeah, I like how strappy it is. I'm okay with having like a low neckline here. I don't mind it. Is it something I would wear for like a super intense HIIT workout? No, especially because, you know, it is definitely more of a light support and things are jiggling. So not the best for that. But otherwise, I feel like it could be okay. Yeah, but I just wish the straps were a little bit shorter. Sometimes I have that, and then, you know, there's also other things that are a little bit looser where I'm like, okay, I can size down. Not in this one. Like I said, I am tucked in. This is a compressive fit. So do not size down if you're in between. But also if you sometimes feel like bra straps are a little bit too long on you, maybe this is not exactly for you. Yeah, unfortunately, it is a little bit long in terms of straps. Otherwise, it's cute. It's flattering. You get a little bit of a cleavage here. And I do like the color as well. Pairs very well with bright colors. Like, I think this could work. it's a, you know, hot summer color combo. But yeah, let's move on. Okay, now as promised, we'll go into the sports bras that were kind of going color-wise with the new Gymshark leggings and shorts. So these are sports bras that Gymshark had previously launched as well, but now they're also coming in the colors that do match the bottoms from the new Whitney launch, basically. I will start with the minimal sports bra, I think. This is this one. This one came in fewer colors than the other sports I'm going to show you. And this is the color red, also described as light support, this sports bra. And this red is more of a, like not a lipstick red, but it's more of a, kind of, I feel like it has an orange undertone, but this is the minimal sports bra. So yeah, you might have seen this one before because again, this is not a new sports bra. This one has a lot of like, well, a lot, but like it has adjustability features. Otherwise, it looks somewhat similar to the sports bra I've just shown you, but I feel like the V goes lower, the ruching part is smaller. So there's definitely less width here when it comes to the, you know, it's like basically an even deeper cut. And looks like it has a little bit less coverage for the chest. Gymshark logo here. Fabric feels really, really nice and soft still, but this one is more performance-y. The other one definitely felt more brushed. This one is soft, but has a sleeker feel to it. It's made still from 78% recycled polyester and 22% elastane, and then the mesh from 91% nylon and 9% elastane. But like I feel like it definitely feels different. I don't know. It feels a little bit sleeker for sure. Here we do not have pockets for the cup pads. So it is also only, I feel like it's only double layered. So no removable cup pads in here either. And then you have these this is one thin strap actually. So this is, you can basically, like I said, there's adjustability features. You can wear this as a halter neck. However, you also do have those two straps looping across this strap here to make it not a halter neck. And I don't particularly like halter neck sports bras, so I appreciate that this is a feature if you want to have a halter neck sometimes, but sometimes you don't. I would just always keep the straps on here. You have them hooked in here. You can see that. So there's just like little hooks here, 4 of them, because there's 4, well, there's only 2 straps, but there's 2 ends to each strap, so it's 4. And they're basically just hooked in there. You could also, of course, do some wild things, just have one of the 2 straps, crisscross them a little bit more if you want to. So there is some adjustability here, or just wear it as a halter neck. Then we also do have this elastic under the chest here. In the back, that's basically all there is. And then in the front, like I already said, very, very minimal coverage, but it's also called the minimal sports bra. And for that, I mean, it does have the strap feature, so that's not too bad. I think I tried this one before, and I feel like with a lot of sports bras that have the option of being a halter neck, you kind of need this long strap also to be adjustable. Because currently it should work fine lengthwise. We will test it out, of course, but it should work fine because these straps are pulling things down a little bit. Once you don't have these straps pulling things down anymore, this strap, of course, gives less support because it's a minimal sports bra, but also it is then too long. And, you know, there will be even less support because of the strap being too long if you don't have those straps pulling down. So ideally, they'd also make this one adjustable. It's just a little, you know, clasp situation thing, like something here, you can just pull it through. Like, they need to kind of do that. At least that's what I remember from last time, that it, you know, was a little iffy if you wanted to wear it as a halter neck. I will see if I'll try it. I'm not sure because I also do have a halter neck sports bra coming up. And again, I don't really like halter necks, so. But yeah, I do like the color here. Again, there was other colors to pick from, but not as many as from the halter neck version that we'll see in a second. But I like this red. I think it's a pretty color. And yeah, let's see it on. All right, minimal sports bra is certainly minimal coverage as anticipated. But yeah, definitely a lot less coverage than that purple sports bra. Like it's going very, very low. I don't recommend this for a big chest. 100% do not recommend for a big chest. It is a little risque, I would say. When I put this on, I also had to make sure that this band is actually not sitting on top of my boobs, which I usually never have a problem with. So yeah, now it's sitting just under. So you don't have a ton of coverage in terms of like what the sports bra can cover in general. The band definitely sits, yeah, it's kind of a trade-off. Do you want it to sit on your boobs, or do you want to have, you know, and have a little bit more coverage, or do you want it to actually sit under the boobs and just, yeah, hope nothing is showing up here. So that's that. I feel like they could add a tad more coverage to this. Side boob coverage is okay though. We do have the thin straps here, and here I don't feel like I need them to be shorter. I feel like this one is perfectly fine. In terms of length, I do get some lift, and then we do have the strappiness here in the back as well. But I can guarantee you, if I take these off here, the strap here would be too long to make it a well-fitting halter neck. I already know that, so I'm not going to do that. But just know that since you can detach the straps here in the back, all two straps with, you know, 4 ends, and you can rearrange this however you want, like do it with crisscrossy, or just have one strap, or have both straps, or have no straps. There's some variation in terms of like how long this strap will be, since this one is not adjustable. And I feel like to really make all the styles work, this strap, this one, needs to be adjustable, and it is not. So I would be very hesitant to buy this if you wanted to wear this with the halter neck option only, because I feel like that's not going to work so well. But otherwise, you know, I mean, you just be prepared to have very little coverage. In general, you do get a little bit of a lift, and you get some cleavage for sure. There's no mesh here in the back, and it's really just a thin strap in the back as well. So there's really not a lot of fabric in the back of the sports bra. But yeah, not sure if it's my favorite. I feel like Gymshark does better. So I'm not sure why this is why this is such a popular option. It must be a popular option because they keep bringing this back in like different colors and prints, and like, you know, I feel like they've done different things and better things, but I don't know, maybe this is your favorite option. Do let me know, and do let me know if it's your favorite option. Why it's your favorite option? Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. Because yeah, I feel like if the purple sports bra, if the strap had been a better length for me, I would definitely prefer that one over this one. Just because of how there's just a bit more coverage. And it's not like I need a ton of coverage, just a bit more coverage. And I just like the design of the bag a little bit better as well. Support-wise, of course, just light support, right? Nothing much expected here. And yeah, let's move on. Last but not least, in the sports bra section, we do have the minimal Halterneck sports bra. So, as I already mentioned when I was talking about the minimal sports bra, there is a Halterneck version that is just a Halterneck. This one is in the color pink. It is definitely very pink, very baby pink indeed. And this one is very, very similar to the minimal sports bra, but it does not have those straps in the back that you could take off. So you really just have an elastic here. I feel like it's a little wider than on the other, on the minimal sports bra. And then you do have that one strap here. And this one is actually adjustable. So this is what I kind of wanted to see on the minimal sports bra. Yeah, because if you want to wear that as a halter neck, again, it can be a little bit too long, this strap. But here we have it being adjustable. So you have a little tone-and-tone clasp situation there. And otherwise, it's very much the same. We don't have removable cup pads in here. There's also no pockets for them. The material feels like soft and slightly sleek as well, although this one feels a little bit more brushed maybe. Closer to the first sports bra. It's made from the exact same fabric though, but there's no mesh in here apparently. So it's only the 78% recycled polyester and the 22% elastane. I don't even know where there was mesh on the other one, honestly, on the red one. Weird. But yeah, minimal coverage, a little ruching here in the middle, deep V, Gymshark logo, and that is kind of it. I think the color is very pretty. I do like it a lot. And yeah, I just don't like Halterneck sports bras. I just wanted to try it. So. Also, I think there was more colors of the Halterneck sports bra than of the normal minimal sports bra. So I didn't really have too many choices if I wanted to, for example, grab a sports bra in this beautiful pink. But let's see it on. All right, Halterneck sports bra. Still minimal sports bra, but Halterneck. And honestly, I feel like there's a little bit more coverage on this one. Like, I prefer the coverage on this. Why is this not the same with the just minimal sports bra? Like, just give me a little bit of an extra strap and I'll be happy with this one. Because, yeah, I feel like it's a little bit lower. It's still low, of course, but I feel like I'm just a little bit more covered and the band is actually sitting under my boobs and not semi on them. So I definitely do prefer the coverage of this one. Side boob coverage is okay too. Of course, you have this low neckline, a little bit of ruching, thin straps, or one thin strap because it's the halter neck. This one is adjustable and I put it on the tightest setting now, but it's up there, tightest setting. And yeah, I can feel it a little bit. Like, that's why I don't like halter neck sports bras so much. To be fair, some of them don't feel so bad the first few minutes. This one actually doesn't feel so bad. I've definitely had some where I was like, after a minute, I'm like, oh my God, no. Because the pressure on the bone here in the back is too much for me. But this one is okay so far. And we also do have like actually a little bit of extra space here. So with this one, I would say you could probably size down if you're in between. So I don't know what's going on. And then the band here in the back, I feel like is a little bit, just a tad thicker, I don't know, than the minimal sports bra one. Maybe not. Hard to say. But honestly, front coverage is better than the normal minimal sports bra. Why is that? Because I would honestly just prefer this, but not in a halter neck. Like the only thing I would change now is the straps. And yeah, I can't tell you if it's the color or if it's the style that just has, the halter neck style just has a little bit more coverage in the boobs. It's a little weird. And it also does fit a little bit bigger. But I like it, honestly. So, I mean, I like it. It's a Halterneck sports bra. That's still something that I don't like about it. But of the sports bras I've tried, I feel like this one currently fits the best. And that surprises me that I'm saying this. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It is very weird. The color is also gorgeous. I like it. And yeah, support-wise, obviously, we got a light support here. There's a lot of jiggling. So don't wear this for a HIIT workout. But otherwise, you should be okay. And yeah, I'm surprised. It's not too uncomfortable yet. I'm sure if I would wear this for another hour at some point, I'd be like, okay, this is enough. But at least I could still loosen the straps a little bit. Maybe that would then help, you know. But yeah, I'm surprised. Out of the three, this is maybe my favorite. Weird. Let's move on. Okay, now we are done with the tops or the sports bras because it was solely sports bras. And you've seen some of the pretty colors already that came out in this recent Gymshark Whitney Simmons launch. But now we're getting to the bottoms, and I think these are the more exciting. This is the more exciting part, basically. And I do have the shorts and I do have the leggings for you. The shorts are actually, I think they were just a 4 or 5 inch short, not a 6 inch, which is my preferred length. I think they might have only been 4 inch actually. So I kind of would have liked to see different length options for those. But they didn't have them. I still wanted to try them for you. And I did get the Gymshark X Whitney Simmons shorts in 2 different colors. We have them in pink and in this beautiful, beautiful blue. I like that it's just called blue. They could have, you know, made some effort with the names, I think. But yeah, in pink and in blue. So the blue you haven't seen yet, the pink you have seen in the Halterneck sports bra. So let me just unwrap those. Number 1 and number 2 here. So I did get these in a size medium, which is my normal short size. Here is the blue color. It is very pretty. And interestingly enough, so we did have white Gymshark logos on the sports bras. On this one, we actually do have a tone and tone logo. So it's actually really, really difficult to see, but it is there. It's a tone and tone logo. Like, wow, this is such like minimal branding, which is so unusual for Gymshark. And here on the pink, you also do have a just, you know, tone and tone. It is weird they didn't do it on the sports bras though. Like I kind of, like for the cohesiveness of this collection, I would expect it to be the same type of logo. So they did white on the sports bras. I can show you that on the pink here, for example. We have the white Gymshark logo. And now if you pair this together with the shorts, like it's kind of a little weird because we have the white Gymshark logo, but here we have the tone and tone Gymshark logo. Why? So that I don't really understand. That is a little weird. Let me know if you think it's weird. But yeah, I definitely think it's weird. Anyway, so shorts here in pink and in blue. Like I said, they're a little bit shorter, I believe. But what I like to see is that they're not like, you know, I feel like they're kind of flaring out at the end of the leg here, which is good. The seam here doesn't seem overly tight or anything, which is also good. And then we have the signature Whitney Simmons leggings band, waistband kind of thing. So you have this double seam here. It's high-waisted, or supposedly so. It comes in a little bit, so cinched in a little bit at the waist. No front seam. And then in the back, you again have this double seam. And then you do have a V for the glutes. And we also do have... Oh, I'm sorry. My throat got very dry all of a sudden. Whew. All right, let's continue. Anyways, then we do have this invisible scrunch here. So the invisible scrunch is currently not very invisible, but once you put it on, it will be like stretching a little bit and just giving you like kind of a little bit more separation, separating the glutes because it goes a little bit more in between. And it is stretchy, so yes, it's going to stretch out while you have it on, and it's not going to be visible because of the stretching out. But it is better, even though you don't see it when you have it on, it is better in separating the glutes and in being more flattering towards the glutes. So, you know, it's always kind of nice. I also like, it's not going to be ever as scrunchy again as, you know, before you put it on the first time, because you do stretch it out over time a little bit more and a little bit more. So don't be worried about that. And yeah, I feel like it's already a little bit less now that I've stretched it a little bit. So you can see it here on the blue and then on the pink. I feel like it's a little bit more ruched up still. There we go. But here it's the same thing. It is stretchy, and then, you know, once you put it on, it's just gonna do this and this. And yeah, it already unstretches a little bit. But anyway, so this is the two colors that I got in these. They came in a few more colors. I do think they're both very, very gorgeous colors for sure. I'm not sure how squat proof the pink ones are going to be because it is a very light baby pink. But we'll see it. I'm going to squat test everything for you, of course. And yeah, I'm excited to try these on. I think these are the first Whitney Simmons Gymshark shorts that they've done, or at least the very first ones I'm trying. I don't remember anymore. It's been a long time because recently they've only re-released the leggings, but no shorts. So I don't even remember if there were shorts in the original one. I don't think so. Maybe. No, maybe there was. I will have to double check, and I can just put the information on the screen, you know, if I find out. Because now I'm also curious. Yeah. But anyway, let's see these on. All right, shorts, here we go. Definitely thick thigh friendly. I am happy about that. That's not always something you can expect, but these ones are thick thigh friendly. There's actually a little bit more extra space. So I feel like if you're in between sizes, like truly in between, I don't know. Because I feel like for shorts I'm not, because I need for the thicker thighs I always need a medium. But if you don't always need a medium for the thicker thighs, you might not need to size up. I don't know. Hard to say. They're ultra high-waisted actually, which I find a little weird. I'm not used to that from these leggings. So my natural waist is down there, and these actually come a little bit higher, so they might roll down a little bit. Belly button is down there, and then yeah, you have this double seam detailing. I'm missing a little bit of compression here in the lower tummy area simply because they're so high. I feel like if they set a little bit lower, you would have that compression there. And then indeed, I feel like they come a little bit lower in the back, which is weird. It's not the end of the world because they are so high-waisted that it's not as bad. You know, just imagine they were just like a mid-waist and they come lower in the back. It wouldn't be my favorite. But yeah, they do come a little bit lower in the back, and I'm not used to that either from these. But it's not bad. Like, you can't really see it dipping too low or anything. My underwear wouldn't be showing if I were to wear my high-waisted patterned, full coverage knickers for the squat test. I don't think you'd be seeing that. But still a little bit lower than normal. And then we do have that double seam detailing still, the V here, and then you see that the invisible scrunch, you can't see the scrunch anymore. The seam just has kind of like morphed to the glutes a little bit better, so you get a little bit more glute separation, and this is exactly what it's supposed to do. So you don't see that there is a scrunch, you just feel the effect of it by it being like kind of molding to the cheeks a little bit more. It's, for me, also not going in between too much. You could probably arrange that if you wanted to, but I feel like it works well. It's flattering. And yeah, these are shorter shorts. I would have preferred if they had done them an inch longer, I think. But they are thick thigh friendly. And that is good to see. They are actually, I feel like they're also a little bit longer in here than they are out here. I don't know. It's a little weird. And I also feel like the gusset, you kind of have to adjust a little bit. It's very frontal. I don't know. But yeah, I'm actually like, I feel like that's some of my favorite Gymshark shorts they've ever done. Have I tried many? No. But honestly, these are actually pretty nice shorts. I will say that. And this is thick thigh friendly, thick thigh girl approved, whatever. Yeah, a lot of stretch. Can't complain. I like that it's so high-waisted, although it's a little unusual for these. And yeah, I feel like you can see they're kind of like longer there than they're here, which yeah, is a little odd, but it's fine. And I mean, they're still gonna like roll up on me. It's just the type of length they are. They will roll up on me eventually when I do stuff. It's 5 or 6 inches where it doesn't do it, or definitely 6 inches for sure. But I will say, like I said, actually, I'm surprised. I imagine they would be fitting a little bit shorter, but they're definitely, yeah, some of my favorite Gymshark shorts. I am positively surprised. Huh. But let's see the pink on, and let's see if there's any differences. I'm also curious to see the difference in squat proofness, but yeah, let's see the pink ones on. Okay, this might be a little bit too much pink for me, but I'm going to ignore it. Yes, but these fit very similar to the blue, so I don't really see too much of a difference here. Still very ultra high-waisted, I would say. Also, did I mention that there's a tiny little top seam at the top, which really doesn't cut in. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even call it a top seam. We don't have the front seam right. There's no side seam detailing. And yeah, I feel like if this had been a little bit lower, you'd be getting a little bit more compression in the lower tummy area here. Otherwise, I still notice that it's a little bit lower here in the back than in the front. Like, I feel like it just comes up a little bit higher. I don't know if you can even see it, but yeah. And again, the scrunch has disappeared, so it's just molding to the glutes here. You do have the double seam detailing. And overall, I mean, these are also very comfy, still thick thigh friendly. But also, this is also a lighter color, right? Usually it's the darker colors that tend to be a little bit tighter. But yeah, these are also thick thigh friendly still. Still a little bit shorter than I would like, but not a bad length at all. And yeah, maybe that's just a little bit too much pink for me. But I did want to try the pink shorts. I don't think they did the pink in the bottom, in the leggings. But I figured, you know, I do need to try the shorts in pink. And I did. But yes, do let me know which color for the shorts is your favorite. And let's move on. Last but not least, we have the Gymshark X Whitney Simmons leggings. Now, these are some of my favorite Gymshark leggings, as I've already said before. And I did get these in 2 different colors. Again, the blue, but also in the beautiful red. Yes, I did get both of these in a size medium. Previously, I've always tried like small and medium. But usually with that like invisible scrunch, I find the medium better for me because then it actually allows a little bit more glute separation. Because I carry most of my weight around the hip measure, like the hip, butt, thigh area, basically. So for me, yes, waist-wise, the small is a little bit better, but for the hips, the medium is a little bit better. So I stuck with the medium for both of these colors now. And yeah, look at this beautiful red. And then also this beautiful blue. I also do think these colors go well together. So well done here. And again, this is basically the same thing as the shorts, just in longer. Material feels the same. We do have 78% nylon and 22% elastane here. And yeah, blue here and the red here. Look at it. Ooh, such a good color for summer, for sure. Both of these are. I mean, honestly, can't go wrong with with either of them. So I will say I am a little dissatisfied with some of the seam work on this. Now that I'm seeing this, it didn't seem as, like, I mean, I saw it on the shorts as well a little bit, but this seems definitely a little bit, not as good. I don't know if you can see it, but there's definitely some seams that are not as good as they could be. And yes, Gymshark is not some of the most expensive activewear, but it is definitely not as affordable as some other brands. And I feel like for that, I'm kind of expecting a little bit of a, better job than some of those stitches here. Like, especially in this area, I feel like they could have definitely done better. I don't see any other big issues otherwise. It's okay, but yeah. And even on these ones, on the blue ones, you can kind of see a little bit, like they're struggling with a slight V here in the seams for sure. Yeah, just keep an eye out for that. It's not the most clean seam work I've ever seen. Anyway, otherwise, the shorts, high-waisted, we again have this double seam detailing here and also in the back with a slight V for the glutes and then this invisible scrunch that doesn't look so invisible right now. But again, it's elastic, it's gonna stretch out a bit. The fabric feels soft, but also a little bit performance-y, a little bit sleek, cool to the touch. It's not too thick. And yeah, these should be kind of like a 7/8 length on me, maybe a tad shorter. I feel like in previous years, they have been a tad shorter on me, and I was kind of hoping they would do a second length option maybe. I don't know. I'm not the tallest person, so it's always like confusing to me how, they can just be different. I also noticed that when I hold these up, I can feel like the back looks a little bit higher than the front, which I like to see. But when I did this with the shorts, I felt like it was a little bit the opposite. So now this is the front of the shorts. And if I, turn it around, you can kind of see the front pokes out a little bit more than the back. So, it's definitely, I prefer how this looks here for the leggings. Let's see how it looks on as well. But I will say colors are gorgeous. There were some more color options available. And material feels good. We have a Tone and Tone logo here again as well. Here's the red. I hope you can see it. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? And then the blue, same placement as on the shorts right there. And yeah, let's just see these on. This is a color, like, for sure. It does have a neon touch to it, but it's perfect for summer, I think. Like, I feel like no one cannot see you in this outfit. Oh, wow. Yes. No, I like it. I like it a lot. I will say that the leggings do feel a little bit less high-waisted than the shorts. So the shorts were ultra high-waisted. And the leggings are kind of a little bit more normal high-waisted. My natural waist is kind of around here. So yeah, definitely. Like maybe it's like half a centimeter, a quarter of an inch difference. But I feel like there is a difference. Again, I feel like there could be a little bit more compression in the waistband. This is on me, of course. I could have tried a small in the leggings. And I didn't do it this year because I do remember from last year when I tried that, and it was a dark color, so that could have also played a role. I felt like it was just too tight in the glutes. But now I feel like there's, there's a little bit of extra space here, a little bit of room. So maybe a possibility that you could consider. And again, Gymshark does free returns and stuff like that. So you could just order 2 different sizes if you wanted to. I just didn't do it because I thought I knew which size would be better. Still double seam detailing. Now it comes a little bit lower onto the lower tummy area here, but again, not a lot of compression. So yeah, you don't get too compressed in this area. We don't have side seam detailing, tone and tone logos here, no front seam, and then this very, very slight top seam that I also showed you on the shorts. But again, that I wouldn't even call it a top seam. And then in the back, of course, still the double seam detailing and the fake, well, not the fake, the invisible scrunch. I feel like in the shorts, this invisible scrunch was molding a little bit better to my glutes than in the leggings here, or at least in this color. We can also see the blue, of course, then later. But I feel like it's not molding as well to it. Like, I think it's still flattering, but I feel like a normal seam would have done the same thing here. So not 100% sure why that is. The back is definitely, not lower or anything. I feel like that feels the same. It's not dipping or anything. That is also perfect. And lengthwise, these are a tad shorter than a 7/8 length on me, but not as short as some previous year's Whitney leggings editions. I definitely remember one that was like 2 centimeters shorter than a 7/8 length. This is kind of just like maybe 1 centimeter. So not as short as some of the previous iterations of these leggings. But yeah, the color is gorgeous. I have very tanned feet. Well, for me, very tanned feet right now. And I feel like it works super well with this lightly tanned skin. Also, my arms are a bit more tanned. And I think it just looks very good with that. I am very happy with this color. Like, look at it. Like, my tummy is very white, but like my arms are a bit more tanned. And I know for some people, this might be a normal skin tone. For me, this is like peak summer tan. I'm not sure if I can get more tan than this. This is probably max of what I can achieve. And I can show you the difference between my normal skin tone here and the, you can see it. This is proof. And I was tanning safely, lots of sunscreen, reapplying it all the time, trying to stay in the shade. And yet I achieved this natural tan. Anyway, I like this color. I like it. It screams summer to me so much. Not sure if I would wear this as like, matching set, or if I would just, add a little bit of pop of a different color to this. You could absolutely put the purple on there, or a blue, like the shorts. I feel like that could also work. The pink, I'm not sure about. I don't know if the pink would work. Let me know what you think. But I feel like there's some color options. And I think this is like a super fun color. Like I said, it has like a neon-y touch to it, but it's not like full on neon. It reminds me a little bit of the poppy red I've had from Aritzia recently. And I think poppy red is just a trend color this summer. But this one is a little bit less orange and a little bit more neon. Anyway, let's see the blue leggings, shall we? Okay, here's the blue leggings. Similar, very, very similar fit. Again, not as high-waisted maybe as the shorts, not a lot of compression in the waistband. I should have really just ordered a small in one of these colors to compare. I was thinking about it and I was like, no, remember you tried the small and it was a little tight, the medium felt better, and now I'm like, but maybe I'm just truly in between. The small could still feel a little too tight for me and the medium just a little too loose. It's possible. That's just how it is. But yeah, we do have the double seam detailing here again, no front seam. The very slight top seam that I wouldn't classify as a top seam. Lengthwise, a tad shorter than 7/8 length on me, but not as bad as some of the other colors from previous years. I'm thinking back to the year where they did like a little mermaid green and a little more like mermaid like lavender purple color, which I really felt was kind of like a Little Mermaid outfit. I'm gonna see if I can find one of the videos where I talk about it, and I can link it up here. Where the leggings were just so short. They weren't capri length yet, but they were going there, and I don't like capris. I know that's coming back again. I've seen people bring out capris again. I've seen Honor Active do it. I've seen Popflix do it. Gymshark probably also has some capris, but for me, it's just like, no, thank you. Like, no. I don't do capris. I just don't. But yes, not capri length, so that's good. And not short, not lower in the back here. We do have the double seam and the V here. And the scrunch, again, I felt like there was a little bit more molding in the shorts, but it's not bad. It's just accentuating a little bit, but like not really going in between the cheeks for me. Again, you could probably make things work and like shove the fabric in there and whatever people do. For me, it's just like, I don't want to do that. And it's going to come undone and whatever. And it's just, nah. Not my type of thing, but yeah, these are comfy. They are a sleeker kind of feeling fabric, definitely a little performance-y, and just very simple, but like half flattering detail, like the double. I like the double seam detailing. Petula has done something similar as well, and I just like that. You know, I think it looks good, and yeah, a little bit of a V for the glutes. The little scrunch that's invisible, very important for me. I don't like the visible scrunch too much. And overall, yeah, nice color. I think I do prefer the red a little bit. I think that's a little bit more of a unique color. But yeah, the leggings are just, it's a good staple legging to have, honestly. And one of the best that Gymshark has ever done. So yeah, that's my cup of tea. And I like the colors. I'm happy with the stuff I got. Like the sports bras, yeah. But I feel like this also works together as a color combo, right? But yeah, the leggings and the shorts are definitely like some of the highlights of this, what Gymshark does. I honestly like, I mean, this is also why they keep bringing back the Whitney stuff, because people like it so much, because it is some of the best stuff they've done. Yes, but you can look at it again and let's move on. All right, it's conclusion time. Let me just pick up the little pile here. We have some beautiful colors, definitely a good summer color selection here. And you can easily mix and match most of these together if you wanted to. And if you don't want to just do a matching outfit, oops, sports bras are sleek and sliding. I will say I'm still not a fan of the Halterneck sports bra. I prefer to have the minimal sports bra with the strap options, for example. The shorts could have been a little bit longer, but the leggings are always good. Are they my absolute favorite leggings? No, but I still do like them, and I do have a few colors because I do like them. I think they look flattering. The colors this year are definitely good. I like them. And yeah, I might be keeping the leggings. Maybe not the shorts because they're just like, yeah, I prefer them a tad longer. And the sports bras are always very, very simple. So like, I feel like you always have to kind of, A, you have to have a smaller chest for this to work for you. And B, you kind of have to like the color for them to be, you know, something you want to keep. Of course, this one was a little bit different, I will say. So that was fun to see, and it had a little bit more coverage and the mesh in the back here as well. So not too mad about this one. And overall, the colors, I think, are doing it this time for me. Not necessarily all the different cuts, because again, like, it's nothing too special. The Whitney leggings are tried and true and good. But yeah, am I like completely blown away by everything? No. Did I expect to be blown away by everything? No. And also, again, because Gymshark, as I mentioned in the beginning, offers like easy shipping, fast shipping also, free returns, you can always just try and see if you like it or not. So that is good. I appreciate that. Otherwise, yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful and entertaining. Do let me know if you shopped this recent Gymshark Whitney Simmons launch. Also let me know which color was your favorite. I think there was also a darker, was it a darker green or something? But that was like really not summer for me. But not teal. I would have loved a teal color as well. And of course, black always works, right? But yeah, do let me know which color was your favorite and if you shopped anything from this recent launch. Like I said, it's been a few weeks now, but I've also been traveling a lot, and it's, you know, summer's being wild so far. So yes. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel so you get notified about all the new videos that are coming out, and I do have good plans for this summer. If you ever have any feedback, any suggestions, also if you have ideas for new videos, things you want me to, you know, review, brands you want me to review, things you want to see, do drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can also follow me on Instagram, see some of the pieces in action there, and DM me there, but I am more likely to see your comments here on YouTube. So if there's ever anything you want me to see, just drop a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, thank you so much. I think I've said this a few times now, but that's okay. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.